Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. I am Starco Gaming and we are back with another Dragon Champion video, guys. Today we're going to talk about the most important character for the Pride roster, which is actually going to be Salvador. Salvador is literally the only character you cannot swap for another characters. Like in DPS you have many options, in healer you have two options with Oxy or Renara, but as a tank you literally have zero other option. You need to go for Salvador. If you don't go for Salvador, you will not be able to complete the buff event or be able to do pretty much anything with your Pride. So it's literally the most important characters to actually recruit. But before we get into his build and all the blah 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 about him, guys, if you are level 15 or below, make sure to use the promo code STARCO to get $10 worth of freebies. To do so, it is very simple. You go in the settings, use promo code, and you enter the word STARCO just like that, and you press OK, and you will get among others 500 drag points and 250,000 gold and a few other things too, and that a little $10 worth of freebie. So definitely worth getting in my personal opinion. Now if we go with what we're gonna talk about today, Salvador. So Salvador is a Pride character. Obviously he's a defender, so he's gonna be your tank for the buff event, which is actually coming in about 11 days from the time this video is gonna be released. So what skills are important with Salvador and how to actually build up his rune and artifacts? So those are the three main questions we're actually going to answer in this video. So if we start with the skills, we're going to give a priority of the skills to actually get to level 6 with the scrolls. So we're going to start with the last skill here, guys, in the list, and we're going to see what it does. So we have Power of the Ancient, increase physical armor by 35%, and additional 5% for each living Pride character in the party. And you can see if we drop that to level 5, we lose pretty much 30% physical armor, because we're gonna have 5 Pride in the party, plus the it's actually 35%, my bad, plus you get an extra 10%. So you can see this is a mandatory ability to actually get to level 6. You know, if you don't have this ability to level 6, you're going to be losing, you're going to be taking a lot more damage than you should be taking. So definitely this is going to be one of the most important ability to level 6. First, guys, like I said, we're looking at the abilities, then we're going to give an order in which we should be getting those abilities to level 6. Now if we go with skill number 3, we have Steel Shell. Gain a Steel Shell for 2 turns. The Steel Shell decrease all damage taken by 90%, a 50% chance to gain a debuff immunity for 2 turns. Now if we move that there, we lose the initial cooldown and the max cooldown. So definitely you need to have this ability to level 6, because you actually need to be able to use this ability on your first turn. That is what's the most important with Salvador. So I'm guessing this is going to be the most important ability to get to level 6 in my opinion, but we're gonna wait till we're done with all the skills before we give our list here. Now the second skill, one at a time, deal 400% physical damage to an enemy and gain down for 2 turns. Now the damage is awesome on this ability, but a disability does not matter. What's important is to get the town from this ability. If you can't get it to level 6, it is great, but it is literally not mandatory. Level 5, level 4, level 3, don't care, as long as you can get your talent. But yes, if you can't get it to level 6, this is definitely a huge damaging ability. And then we got the first ability, deal 210% physical damage to an enemy, a 40% chance to gain a shield equal to 10% of maximum health. So this ability is pretty nice, but a difference between you know, 30% and 40% is minimal. So definitely this ability, I think level 5 is just fine. So now if we go in the order to actually get those ability to level 6, priority number 1 is Steel Shell, because you need to be able to use the ability on cooldown. Priority number 2 will be Power of the Ancients to get that bonus armor to make sure you take less damage. And then priority number 3 will be Strike of the Fifth to actually have 40% chance to gain a shield equal to 10% maximum health, and then the last ability will be disability, because it's just about damage and disability. But as a tank, damage is literally the last thing you look at, because what's important for a tank is to take the less damage, the least damage possible, which all other trees ability cover. So that is what for the abilities. Now the skill priority is pretty simple. You're gonna use Steel Shell on cooldown, you're gonna use your town to on cooldown. Well, Steel Shell get priority over town, by the way, and then you're gonna use the first skills as a filler to try to restore that shield pretty much. And that is pretty much it for the skills and skill priority. Now if we talk about runes, runes, you have a few different setups. You could go with 4 HP 2 armor, 4 armor 2 HP, 6 HP or 6 armor. It does not matter that much. I think both setup are pretty good, but personally I prefer to go with armor, because armor means that you take less damage. That is pretty much what it means. But if you can get both armor here to 45% and 50% with regular runes and setup, you know, I am on the test server, so I got extra stats obviously, because I was able to build them beyond imagination, so I can get 60 and 53. But I think 45 and 50% will be pretty solid as the armor for him. I think that will be what you want to reach. So if putting 6 HP runes gives you those stats, still pretty solid. Now the other stats you want to be looking at is tenacity. You need that tenacity to be over 60% without a single doubt. Tenacity is very important, but you do not want to sacrifice your armor or HP set in your runes. So obviously primary, secondary is going to be very important for tenacity. And the speed, you can see he has a very low speed, and that is a specific reason, because you don't want to lose the Steel Shell. You want that Steel Shell to stay up as long as possible at the start of the fight, and when it gets applied along the fight, it's very important. So that speed is, you don't want to get him speed pretty much. That's the way I see him, and that's the way I build him, and he perform very well. Now if we take a look at the runes, first priority, you want to go with HP or armor here. And then you want to get shield, HP, armor, and tenacity as secondary. Those are the most important stat. Not optimized for the secondary here, so you only see shield and health on this one, but you see the pattern in every primary and secondary. You're gonna focus the primary I tell you, or the primary you want, and then you're gonna have to focus on shield, HP, and tenacity as much as possible. Actually, armor, HP, and tenacity will be more important than shield, because the shield that you restore is not based on the amount of shield that your character has, so it doesn't matter that much. So definitely HP, tenacity, and armor are the top secondary stats to actually have. Now if we go with the second primary, we have HP. Again, we have armor, tenacity as secondary, so it's pretty solid. And the last primary, you want tenacity. Tenacity is mandatory on this one to get that tenacity above 60%. So you get debuff less. You're still gonna get debuff a lot against buff on stage 7, but you're still gonna get debuff less than if you have low tenacity pretty much. So you want tenacity primary, and again, so you can see the pattern, health, and armor. If we look at secondary on the other runes, we have armor, health. We have health, we're not gonna count shield, and we have armor and health here. So you can see the pattern here, guys. A lot of armor, a lot of health, and a lot of tenacity along in the runes. That is what's very important. And overall here, if we could look at the HP and the armor, the shield, I mean, we have 37,000 HP, which is actually pretty decent, and 32,000 shield to get started. Your shield's pretty much is going to be your first turn. The first turn, your shield is going to get eaten, because you will not be ready to apply your Steel Shell until you actually get a turn. So but you will be starting with a town, because hero leadership will give you a town. So that shell is very important to not drop below 100% HP really early on, and then when you put your Steel Shields, you won't have any problems anymore about taking damage. So that's kind of what's important with Salvador. Now if we look at the artifact, the best artifact I actually found for him was this one. We have Magna Rock, which will give you a currency. We don't have, do we have 10%? No, we have 8% currency. We have a 12% tenacity, which is very important. That's kind of the tenacity that is very important, and also the stats that come with it. Usually we don't pay attention to that stats too much, but suffering a critical hit, increase armor by 5% twice per battle. So basically, after 2 critical hits, your armor will be increased by 10% globally for the rest of the fight, from what I can understand. So this is amazing for tank. This is amazing for Salvador, and the currency is actually going to be a pattern you want to use against the buff event, because a lot of freaking dodge, literally a lot of freaking dodge. So you need that currency as you know, around 110% if you can reach it. To be honest, that actually the objective you are looking for. So that is pretty much it for Salvador, guys. If you have any question, comment, feedback, there's a comment section down below. I will get back to you guys as soon as I see your messages down there, as I always do. Also, guys, if you enjoy the content and you want to become part of the community, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and check out the bell to get notified when we post a new video, go live with a live stream. Again, I repeat myself about the live stream. We started to stream when Battleground was released. We stopped to stream until the Battleground reworks comes out, and when the Battleground reworks comes out, we will be bringing a totally new streaming schedule. So keep an eye out there, guys, for when I actually announce it. So guys, thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, you enjoy your time in the Dragon Champion, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you.